Hello and welcome to the next Bryanston IB2025 Sheen robot light tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to start modelling Sheen's head. So we're going to create the document to do that. So I've loaded up Onshape and I've already gone into the folder that I'd created, IB D&T, and so I'm just going to create a new document. So I'm going to left click on document and I'm going to call this Sheen. So this will load up the modeling area and the file will be called Sheen. So you can see top left I've got Sheen selected or titled there as the document. So let's get modeling straight away. I'll take things nice and slowly so that you can follow through. You may, for the first few videos, if you've not used Onshape before, want to watch the video through just to get an idea of what's happening and then play it again and follow along. So watch a little bit, do a little bit, watch a little bit, do a little bit. But I'll try and keep things slow and steady so you can often pause and move on with your actual work yourself. So I'm going to create my sketch on the front work plane. So I can see the front work plane here. If I hover the mouse over, it goes orange. Whilst there, I'm going to right click and then left click on new sketch. And I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut of the letter N on the keyboard, the N key, N for November or normal 2, so that that spins round and I'm now looking flat onto the front work plane. I've got my sketch tools up here and I'm going to start off simply with the line tool. I'm going to come to the left of the origin, making sure I stay lined up with it. I'm going to left click to place the start of a line, go up, left click to place the end of the line, and then coming perpendicular, if you can see that if I move slightly, it tries to lock, and there's that little dash to the right of where the mouse is, below and to the right of the mouse. That sort of tells me that it's a horizontal line. So I'm just going to come over and left click to place that. Now you see that it wants to keep doing a chain of lines. I'm just going to press the escape key to stop that. Now what I want to do is I want to dimension these lines. I want them to be a specific size. So I'm going to left click on the dimension tool, and firstly I'm going to click on the top line, left click to place the dimension, and then I'm going to type in 80 so that I'm working in 80 millimeters. Now it's really important, if you're following this through and you want to be able to print this out later, that you have set up to use millimeters. I'm now going to set the next distance, and I'm going to dimension the vertical line. So I'm going to left click on the vertical line, left click away from it, type in the number 40 and hit enter, and I want that to be a specific distance away from the origin. So I'm going to left click on the edge of the work plane or the origin, it doesn't matter, let's do it from the origin, and then left click on that vertical line, left click to place the dimension, and I want that to be 50 millimeters, 50. So I'm going to type in 50 and you can see it's all shifted over to the side slightly. Now I actually want a curve in here, so I'm going to use the fillet tool. So this is the fillet tool over here. Left click on that and left click in the corner where I want the fillet. And you see it's defaulted to R5. If I left click over here, I can then change that, and I want to change that to 25. So hit 25, hit return, and that's now put that curve in there. It remembers the origin of the corner, so the dimensions are still there, but it's rounded that corner off for me. Now the next thing I want to do is add a thickness to this, because what we're actually going to do is revolve this around to make the outer shell of the head of Sheen. So I'm going to use the offset tool, and I'm going to click on the horizontal line, and I'm going to click on the curve, and I'm going to click on the vertical line. And you can see that it's put a default distance in there, and it's also gone in a default direction on the inside, which is actually the direction I want. But if I wanted it to go the other way, I could drag that arrow. So if yours has done something like this, take that arrow, drag it underneath. And again, you'll see that the mouse has got the little mouse icon on the screen, has got a little tick with a green button. So to say that I've placed that in the right direction, I can left click the mouse, And now it goes up to that distance, and I can type in that distance and make that whatever it is I want that to be. And I want it to be 3, so I'm typing in 3 on the keyboard and hitting return. Now at the moment this isn't a valid sketch. It's open, it's 2 lines. It needs to be an enclosed space. So I'm going to zoom in. I'm using the scroll wheel on the mouse to zoom in, and I'm going to click the line tool. And this time, instead of clicking and then clicking, I'm going to click and hold and then move the mouse over to the end of the other line, and you can see that it snaps to it, and then I'm going to let go of the left mouse button, and you see instead of trying to draw a chain, it just does the one line. I'm scrolling out with the mouse wheel. I'm going to scroll in again over here and do the same. I've already got the line tool selected. Left click and hold, put it on the end of the other line, release the left mouse button. You can now see that this is shaded in. This means it's a valid sketch and I can do something with that sketch. And what I want to do is I want to rotate it. So without closing the sketch, I'm going to come up to here and I'm going to use the revolve tool. So I'm going to left click on the revolve tool, and it will automatically do a full revolve. That's the default setting. So it wants to do a sort of a full 360-degree revolve. And to show you what's happening, I'm just going to hold the right mouse button down and move that around slightly so you can see what's happening. But what the software needs to know is, where am I going to revolve this? So I need to select a revolve axis. Sometimes you might need to draw one in. This time we can use part of the sketch. So I'm going to click in the revolve axis box, and I'm going to left click on that bottom line, and you can see it's revolved that shape round to make the main part of our head. And I'm happy with that. It's solid, it's new, it can't be added to anything else, so those would be the default settings. So I can tick that to say that I'm happy. We're now going to add a couple more features with a couple more sketches to this so that it is finished. So first of all, I'm going to hold the right mouse button down and spin it around slightly. Now I'm going to hover the mouse over this front face. You can see that both the inner and outer edges are highlighted in orange. If I just move to the outer edge, it will just highlight the outer line. And if I go to the inside, it will just highlight the inner line. I need to make sure both edges are selected. So I'm going to select that face. I'm going to right click and I'm going to select new sketch. So I'm going to draw a sketch, not on a work plane, but on the face of the modelled part that we've got already. I'm going to press the N key for normal to, and we're looking down onto that face now. Now the first thing I want to do for this sketch is to pick up this outside line. So I'm going to use this tool here, the project or convert tool. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to hover over the edge and I'm going to left click, and hopefully you see that's gone darker. It's slightly darker. If I zoom in, you can see that the outer line is slightly darker than the inner line, and that's because that's now formed part of the sketch. I also want a smaller circle, so I'm going to use the center point circle tool, click in the origin, and that's why it's useful to know where the origin is on here. I can use it to make things concentric. Left click just to place it, and then I'm going to use the dimension tool, left click on the outside of that circle, left click in space to place it, and then enter the size that I want. I want that to be 47, so I'm going to type in 47, and if I then spin that around, you can see we've got 2 concentric circles for that sketch. So I'm going to now extrude that. So I'm clicking on the extrude tool. It's defaulting to coming outwards and 25 millimeters. So the first thing I'm going to do is change the direction by clicking on this arrow. And the next thing I'm going to do is change the distance, and I'm going to change that so that it is 4.5. So 4.5 on the keyboard, hit enter, and you can see that that's added that in. I'm happy with that. It's added it to part 1, and it's solid, not a surface model, which is what we want. So left click to confirm. Now at this point, it's probably worth naming our part. Instead of it being called part 1, let's give it a sensible name. So I'm going to come over to here and I'm going to right click on part 1, left click on rename, and I'm going to call it head and hit enter. And you can now see that it's called head. Now I need to do a couple more things on here before we're ready to move on to the next video. So again, I'm going to select this surface, make sure the inner and outer lines are highlighted, so I'm on the face, not on one of the edges. Right click, select new sketch, press N on the keyboard, normal 2, so I'm facing on there. And this time I'm just going to create a recess, which is actually a recess for the edge of the bulb that we're going to use. So again, center circle, left click in the middle to place the center, come out a little bit wider, left click to place the diameter, and then I'm going to dimension that. So I'm going to click on the edge of the circle, and I'm going to left click to place the dimension, and this time it's going to be 52 millimeters. Hit enter, and you'll see it's just a little bit bigger. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to remove a little bit of material. So again, if I hold the right mouse button down and move that around, you can see the sketch on that face, and I'm going to extrude. And this time you can see again it defaults to wanting to come outwards and 25 millimeters, but I'm going to click on remove, so I'm changing it from add to remove. You can see it automatically changes direction, and again I'm going to change the distance, and this time I want it to be 2.3 millimeters. So type in 2.3, hit return, and then if I tick to confirm, so you can see that's put a little recess in there, and that's just to retain the edge of the bulb that goes into the light's head. Just one final operation before we finish this video. Again, I'm going to hold the right mouse button down, rotate it around so I can see the back, and this time I'm going to hover the mouse over the flat end, right click, left click on new sketch, N for normal 2, and again a center circle. I'm just going to click in the middle, drag it out, and I'm going to dimension this again, and this time I'm going to dimension that just 5 millimeters, and again I'm going to extrude and remove, and I don't need to change the distance, it's just punching a hole in that back face. That's for the cable to go through. Tick to say that I'm happy. I can right click in space and left click on isometric, and we can see the part that we've just modeled. And that's it. That's the first Sheen tutorial where you've actually done some modeling for it. I'll see you in the next tutorial where we will move on to creating the part of the legs. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.